Some cases were never solved. Some calls were never traced.
A night shift guard hears a rhythmic knocking coming from a cell that should be empty. He shines his light through the bars, expecting to see bare concrete, but the beam catches a tall, dark figure standing perfectly still. Prisons are engineered for total physical management of human movement. That logic of containment fails when the environment is compromised by something that ignores physical locks. This brick facility in rural Pennsylvania was built in the 1930s. Its architecture was designed to isolate inmates from the outside world through sheer mass. While much of the jail was renovated, cellblock C remained untouched. Security here is still a matter of thick concrete and rusting iron gates. In this section, the walls offer a false sense of security. They don't keep threats out. They ensure that whatever is inside stays trapped with the living. Cell 14 sat at the very end of the block, officially designated as vacant. Aside from a steel bed frame bolted to the floor, the room was empty. At 2:17 a.m. during a routine patrol, Officer Daniel Reeves heard a low, raspy whispering coming from the cell. When he checked the interior, he found the room dark and the voice cut to silence. The fear quickly became contagious. An inmate named Carter began refusing to return to his bunk, claiming he saw a man standing behind the bars of cell 14, smiling into the hallway. The physical stability of the block broke down a few nights later when the power failed for 10 seconds, sending the inmates into a screaming panic. When the backup lights flickered on, Reeves found the heavy steel door to cell 14 standing wide open. No one had a key to the cell, and the lock showed no signs of tampering. The open door suggested the prison's security protocols were no longer functioning. Reeves attempted to re-establish control by reviewing the digital archives from the hallway surveillance camera. At the exact moment of the power flicker, 2:17 a.m., the camera feed was obscured by heavy static and a series of rapid light pulses. For a single frame, a tall, thin figure appeared in cell 14. It wore an old-style uniform, its head tilted sharply toward the floor, and its mouth pulled into an unnaturally wide smile. Driven by the footage, Reeves went to the basement records room to look for any historical precedent involving that specific cell. He found a 1959 case file for an inmate named Samuel Vance, who had been held in cell 14 for solitary confinement. The modern camera footage mirrored the reports found in Vance's file from 50 years earlier, pointing to a persistent presence in the block. In 1959, Vance's condition deteriorated within days. He claimed voices were speaking to him from the interior of the concrete walls after midnight. Guard logs from the era noted Vance's increasing terror, specifically his claims that a tall man would appear in the cell at night to stand by his bed. Vance was found dead inside this locked cell 3 days after the reports were filed. His fingernails were broken and bloodied from scratching at the walls, and his face was frozen in a smile that matched the figure from the modern video footage. Solitary confinement provided no protection for Vance. The walls meant to keep him secure instead ensured he could not escape the room when the figure appeared. Back in the present day, the temperature on the block dropped as the clock hit 2 a.m. Carter looked at Reeves and whispered, "He's back." Reeves saw the tall figure standing at the end of the hall, its arms hanging past its knees, perfectly motionless. Suddenly, the jail's automated systems engaged a full lockdown. Every cell door slammed shut simultaneously, and the hallway was flooded with the pulsing red of the emergency lights. A violent banging started from inside cell 14, shaking the heavy metal door against its frame, as if something was trying to break through. The noise stopped instantly. In the silence, a voice whispered directly into Reeves's ear, "Let me out." The locked door to cell 14 creaked open on its own, swinging slowly into the hallway. The automated lockdown had failed to isolate the threat. Instead, it had locked the guard in the corridor with it. The lights cut out completely. In the darkness, the sound of heavy, dragging footsteps moved rapidly toward Reeves from the direction of the open cell. When the generators finally kicked in and the lights returned, the hallway was empty, but Carter's cell, which was still locked from the outside, was vacant. Carter was never found. The only evidence left behind was 3 words scratched deep into the wall of cell 14. He is here. The county eventually closed cell block C permanently, citing structural instability as the reason for sealing the wing. Physical bars and concrete are only effective against physical threats. Some forces simply move through the architecture, leaving survivors to deal with the psychological weight of what they witnessed.